Hello everyone and welcome back to Every Other Saturday. So in today's video we're going to talk about the classic Old Firm game, 2nd of January, 1-0 win to Glasgow Rangers. Unfortunately we did start on a bit of a sombre note. We did have to pay our respects to the fallen 66 that did not make it home in 1971, but then we moved on to the big match itself. As always guys, if you don't mind, a nice wee plug to the channel. A like, share and subscribe if you haven't done so already, but very much appreciated. Gets us on our way to the first 100 subscribers and pushes us on into the 2021. So let's not waste any more time now guys and dive right into today's video.
Every other Saturday's my half day off, and it's off to the match I go. Happily we wander down the Copeland.
So as you can see, I am a happy man for one and only reason. We bet them 1-0. It's a fantastic way to start off the year. But let's not be kidded guys, that did not start the way we wanted it to. As I said in the previous video, we had this 20 minutes at the start before we even started playing. We need to address that in the new year, we really do, because it's starting to become a thing. I'm noticing it, maybe you guys will start noticing it as well, but it seems that way that we just don't get out the blocks in that first 20 minutes, and it was really kind of noticeable today, to be honest. Now, Celtic started, they came out all guns blazing. Could have been 2 or 3-0, it really could in the first half, but there was one man that decided that that was not happening today, and that was Alan McGregor, the man with the safest hands in Scotland. The man is 38 years old and has the agility of a teenager. It was unbelievable, specifically that one shot from Griffiths. That was going in the top bin, and the hand he got to it, it was fingertip stuff, it was fantastic, it really was. Now I'm not going to sit here and take any credit away from Celtic at all here, because they came out and they played exactly the way we played at Parkhead at the start of the season. They came out, they tried, and they did everything they could. If it wasn't for, okay, shall we say, some good decent tackles as well. We weren't great at the passing, but some good tackles in the midfield, defensive clearances and a fantastic goalkeeper, Celtic could have been up and the story could have been completely different. But with that being said, I'm not going to sit here and give Celtic all the plaudits under the sun. Yes, they played well and they did what they should have done for the first, I'll maybe give them 50 minutes. But we did what we needed to do. We couldn't get out the block, we couldn't get going in the first half. Celtic were all over us at that time, but Rangers did come back into it. We didn't let the game completely go past without at least giving it a chance. But I'll get on to that in a wee minute. Something I'm slightly concerned about with that. But we did what we needed to do. We fought in the midfield. After the 50th minute, we started to kind of get into the swing of it. And you could see in the next kind of 10 to 15 minutes or so that we were getting into we're taking a foothold of the game, and it was becoming more and more to do with Rangers rather than Celtic. But at that time we had that flashpoint of the red card. With the red card coming on, you could see the game completely changed on its head. We had the opportunity of the free kick from that, and it was almost a carbon copy style free kick for Golson's first goal at Parkhead, but nobody jumped onto it. Slightly disappointed nobody managing to get the head on that and take the goal, but not long after that we did start to see things starting to unravel, and the corner comes in. First time we get on that, and of all people, Callum McGregor puts us up 1-0. You could see the disappointment in his face. He knew fine well that was in. Did I want Morelos to touch it in at the back corner? Of course I did, but we'll get on to him in a minute. And with all that stuff happening, we did have some substitutions that happened in the game. The substitutes we did see, we seen Roof making way for Hadji, and Hadji coming on and doing what he did. I mean, he changed that game in the second half. He did. It seemed as if we had a wee bit more. With him coming on and us taking foothold of the game a wee bit more, it changed it, and the kind of pendulum started to swing in the opposite direction for me. We also seen Alfie make way for Itten, but I'll get to that in a bit. We had Kent making way for Zungu to give him some time in the ball. I'm not going to lie, didn't really get much involved in the game, but did what he could do. And we had a Rebo coming off for Barker, and it was good to see him coming on. Hopefully get to see some more minutes for Brandon Barker, as you guys know I'm a bit of a fan. But as always in all Old Firm matches, we have a flashpoint. So when we finally seen Scott Brown come on, we seen Shane Duffy come on after the red card, we seen El Hamid come on as well, and I think it was Turnbull went off for Elianusi. But I can't put it any other way. You had a really bad challenge, really bad challenge from Shane Duffy. Now, I've watched this tackle 3 or 4 times, and the yellow card was not right. It was a red card because the ball was far too far away from him, and then he decides to dive. at the legs of Ryan Kent. Now, it was a blatant scissor attack on his legs to bring the ball down. Now, you hear the word tactical foul and all that. There was absolutely no such thing there as a tactical foul. It was a blatant attempt to bring the man to the ground. And if anything, you could have seen a second red card there, if I'm honest with you. As always in your Old Firm games, we had yellow cards and red cards getting fired out. We had Davis, we had Sorrow, we had Morelos, we had Duffy, we had McGregor, we had Barisic, and obviously your man Beaton getting that red card as well. It turned everything on its head, and these yellow cards coming in, they kind of changed it for us. I mean, they weren't just as important for Celtic, but the red card was obviously, but the bookings weren't they didn't play too much into Celtic's hands, but the one that we got was annoying to say the least. But shall we dive into that yellow card? Being the one I'm talking about obviously is Alfredo Morelos. Now we see Beaton go off and it changes the game for his team. Now that there says something to me. It changed the game that much for Celtic that ultimately they lost. So Morelos as well, a challenge that was nothing to do with him, sees Scott Brown and just dives straight in to try and get the argy-bargy. Now, I know what he's like, but this is no use whatsoever. Everybody that was talking to me as well on the socials and stuff like that before the game itself were telling me that they thought this was the game. This could have been it for Alfie to get in there and just get in and do what he needs to do and score against Celtic. He threw it away because, as the commentator said, I think it was McCoy, when the yellow card happens to him for no reason whatsoever, the manager just instantly loses all trust in the player. He's hooked off and he loses his opportunity to get a goal. Am I saying he would score? No, obviously. They know what happens now. It goes 1-0. It stays that way. But if Morelos stays on the park, he has a bit of a gap at the back, a lesser defence now that, unfortunately, because Shane Duffy's on, an easier one for him to get through. Why does he not just try to stay on the pitch? This is what I just can't grasp with him. The lack of trust and having to bring him off for Itten, who, when he came on, did what he needed to do, really starting to grate at me again. And this £20 million number that we once had, 18 I think it was, sorry, I think that's just pie in the sky. I think if we get one bid in for him, I think the club will accept it, and I do believe that Morelos will end up going, because we give him the opportunity to come back in. Yes, he scored in the last game, but that attitude stuff, that just overtakes all of the goals and stuff like that for me. So I think I'm 100% done with Morelos, to be fair. As sad as it does sound, I do know that he is one of our players, but it just annoys me so much. But as I say, I've got my blue tinted spectacles on just now. We have just beat Celtic in the 2nd of January at home. We have just went 19 points clear. Don't care if you've got games in hand, you've not won them yet. So until you've won them, it's 19 points clear. And it's the best chance we've had in years now to lift that glorious number 55. And I think not one of us wearing the blue will turn round and say that we're over exaggerating now, that I think the league might just well and truly be over. If we keep our form up, we do what we need to do, and we keep that head in focus, this game, this league, this season, 100% Glasgow Rangers win at the end of the year. There was a few other points in the game that slightly kind of peeved me off. It was a bit stop-starty, specifically ball going through the middle. There was a lot of fouls, specifically from Ismail Sorrow. Every single time he went to get the ball, it just seemed to be another foul. And it took 4 or 5 before Bobby Madden actually gave him the yellow card. And I'm pretty sure that's a few more challenges than you're allowed to be putting through there. I mean, not one of them was really fair. He just seemed to be all over the place and kind of ruining the middle of the park. Rangers themselves not being able to push through in that first half, it was so frustrating to watch. We know how good we are, we know how the ability that we do have, but again, I'll hold my hands up. In that first half, Celtic really did have us pegged in and doing exactly what they wanted to do to try and put the pressure on. But taking everything as a whole, it was a really good game of football to watch for us, it really was. Yes, it may have been hard watching them getting their chances and all that, but never once do you turn round with Alan McGregor in the nets and go, we're going to concede, because that doesn't happen anymore. As I said at the start, agility, positioning, first position mainly, it just, everything ticks the box with McGregor. He's such a good goalkeeper, he really is, and he did keep that goal, he did keep that scoreline the way it was today. If it wasn't for him, could have swung the other way. So again, no word of a lie, we have to give man of the match to Alan McGregor. So well in, Big Shagger. Don't think we need to bother too much about the goal of the game, one being in it. I don't really care at the fact that you're going to look at these stats, you're going to see we didn't have anything on target, we had no shots on target, but take the 2 games. Celtic had no shots on target at Parkhead, we had no shots on target at Ibrox. We still won our game. It's all that matters, guys. As I've said before, if you play ugly and you win, if you play badly and win, 3 points are more than important than anything else. We can always build on a bad performance, but building on a loss is so much harder. So no matter what Gerrard will have to take and pick from the game, I think that overall the result mattered more to us today, 100%. So guys, with all that being said, I'm not going to keep you far too long this evening. I know you want to go be happy on this lovely day that it is, but I was made abundantly clear to myself that I won't be able to put the results of the competition in this video, because one, I can edit this video and it might not look fair. So with that being said, I really don't want to do it on this and then it just happens and you all wonder who won the t-shirt kind of thing. So to be fair and to be honest about it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my best and I'm going to put it up live on Facebook. So after the video's up, a couple of messages are in, etc, etc, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a wee time on it now. Just now, I don't know, maybe 6 o'clock or something like that, I'll try to get the video up live and we'll take it from there and we'll do the draw on the computer and we'll see exactly who's won. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes after the video and stuff like that. If you want to drop extra names in, if you've not seen the competition, it's a Boca 10 t-shirt free. A thank you from me to you guys to say thanks for all you have done to keep this starting off and get the ball rolling and keep us moving on our way to get some subscribers in and keep the channel growing. So if you want to get involved and you haven't put your name down in the last video, give us a wee bit of time at the end of this one. As I say, try my hardest for about 6 o'clock-ish to get the video, the live video, not this one, the live video up, and we'll do the draw that way. Just seems a wee bit fair that everybody can see it happening live and it's not being edited and we don't get any moans and groans from specific channel legends. I can hear you moaning and know that it's no live. But thanks again, we'll take it from there, we'll leave it at that and we'll do the live. So thanks again guys, we'll leave it at that, we'll do the live and we'll do the competition that way, but it will be drawn tonight, so don't worry. But again guys, thank you so much for everything, getting involved, liking and sharing and stuff like that. Subscribe if you haven't done so, be very much appreciated. But I'll leave you again. This has been every other Saturday and I will see you on the next video.